because that is the only way we will overcome the challenges we face and build a better and build a better and build a better, more prosperous future for our children and our grandchildren. I pledge that I will serve you with integrity and humility, and I will work day in, day out to deliver for the British people.
Well, of course, it was a somewhat robotic performance because it's the markets is now what's running the country. And we have had that historic meeting take place now between King Rishi Sunak and Queen Charles. And so we are in an entirely new and promising arena and era. So it's springtime for bankers and billionaires, a time to celebrate our net worth. A new era indeed. However, it's a different kind of an era if you are not part of the elite crew. If you're not part of the Goldman Sachs set, then it's going to be austerity for you, I'm afraid, because tax, as the slogan says, is for little people. And I don't mean me. And indeed, rumour has it that the Conservative Party is on the brink of expelling the membership. You know, it's been a long road, but maybe it's just come time to actually expel the entire membership, because the Tory party can simply vote for itself and appoint itself in a manner similar to the Communist Party. Rishi Sunak's got some really, really wonderful improvements to democratic processes as well, which we've been fortunate to get a little sneak preview of. Let me just show you here. I think this is as important as the Magna Carta, perhaps, a real step forward. And there you see the new election ballots there with a choice. That's the most important thing, that you have a choice there between heads we win and tails you lose. So that I'm looking forward to that. And it's not just in that area, also in the area of a referenda. We are moving into a new era there also, where when governments come forward with a referendum proposal, well, there's no need to get into the specifics of it, but you are able to agree in a whole range of colours, representing perhaps different political parties or different sexual persuasions. This is inclusivity. So between inclusivity and choice, really it is a bright future ahead for the United Kingdom. However, I do acknowledge there probably are one or two sceptical people among you who aren't buying this, who think there's some kind of a coup by globalist forces underway. And you're wondering who landed you in this, and perhaps here's an explanation of who landed you in this. Who flew back from the Caribbean specifically to land you in this pile of SHYT? Our good friend Boris, who was there to defend the interests of the establishment and block any potential candidate who might have upset the apple cart. It was very neatly done. It had all the appearances of democracy, but none of the substance. That's the kind of game you're able to play when you can put people like Boris in the right place at the right time and deploy him for useful purpose. He's not the only stooge they have. And of course, now you have government by Goldman Sachs. What could go wrong? Over on Rumble, Jerry Coogan posts, "It looks like the wheels have come off Johnson's bid for the UK Premiership. So what now, Fintan? I don't see any good guys in this fight. I see no sign of any British leader who's remotely likely to stand up against the World Economic Forum, and therefore we're only being presented with a choice between debt by suffocation or debt by asphyxiation." Signed, somewhat confused but still stubbornly determined, deplorable. Way to go, Jerry. Stay determinedly deplorable. Because this is that. What is going on? Well, what's going on, folks, in the UK is welcome to your MAGA moment. Welcome to your MAGA moment. You see, in the United States, they had a moment like this about 2 years ago when they thought they had a democracy, and they all went out and they voted, and they woke up the next day and they realized they didn't have a democracy. Just like that. 1 minute they thought they had a democracy. Next minute they realized they didn't. Just happened to you. That's what's happening. So it's a wake-up call. It's the hello moment. So don't despair, because where they were 2 years ago, look where they are now. Look what they're about to do now. And as I've been saying in the last couple of videos, check them out if you didn't see them, this is why they're pulling this stunt now. You were having your MAGA moment. And one of the things you've got to realize is that just like in the US, where they have their rhinos, Republicans in name only, you have your chinos, conservative hippopotamuses in name only. And this is the uncovering of those and the realization of the roles they play. So in terms of moving forward, well, number one is learn the lessons from just what happened just now, and learn the roles played by people and realize they always have people in the right place at the right time. So you've got to be very careful about that. And at the moment, it seems to me that the only open field available to people of a democratic inclination in the United Kingdom is the Reform Party. Because at least there's an opportunity to move in there and create greenfield, a party which represents the interests of members. And Reform plan to run in constituencies, run candidates in all constituencies. So there's real opportunities there. But make no mistake about it, you now have government by Goldman Sachs. And this is part of the market's takeover of the United Kingdom. This is Mr. Reset. You've had your get everybody hopelessly indebted to the bankers with vast government spending. But not to worry, here comes the Build Back Better.
And build a better.
But fear not, because there are only 2 weeks left. 2 weeks left until something happens in the United States that they can't stop. Something happens that they're not in a position to interfere with using fake leaders. It's all down to an extraordinary politician and an extraordinary set of circumstances, which was then met by an extraordinary response 2 years ago. I've been covering their response for the last 2 years. It's the greatest story of the last 2 years, and it's virtually uncovered because of what's about to happen. So take heart, folks. You may have lost this particular battle, but the war, where it crucially matters, is being won. And it's not particularly being won by politicians. It's being won by ordinary people in the United States who rolled up their sleeves when they saw what just happened to their democracy and got stuck in, made sure that every person who went forward supposedly representing their views did actually represent their views, making sure they knew where the votes were being counted and who was counting them, making sure that they had all of their pieces in place when the right moment came. And they're about to strike, because that moment is 2 weeks away. Let me finish on something to help you get around the censorship which you're all faced with these days. Here's my Firefox browser, and I type in rt.com, Russia Today, and I get, we're having trouble finding that site, we can't connect to that. Or I try sputniknews.com, and I get the same thing. We can't connect to that site. Yeah, well, there's a way around that. Really quick, watch this. Over to the top right on my Firefox. If you haven't got Firefox, great. If you use Chrome, you can install Firefox and use this for getting around the censorship. So I'm going to go down to add-ons and themes in the menu. and I'm going to search here at the top for Browsec. B-R-O-W-S-E-C. 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 Browsec. Let's see. And here we are. Browsec free VPN for Firefox. Let's try it. Add to Firefox. Add. Okay. It's not that easy, is it? Let's see. Start the VPN. Okay. And I can come out of the Netherlands. Well, I'm going to change that because Netherlands, you see, might have a block on rt.com. That's not good to me. But look, I can pick others. I can pick Singapore, which is a good one. Because Singapore, we're not going to have any problems. I hope. Let's just go back here and see this RT thing and try that and see what happens. Oh, well, it's not coming up with nothing happening. There's a bit of a delay. This is, after all, a free VPN. You're not having to pay any money for it. Oh, but there we go. Stuff your censorship. Ukrainians told not to return home this winter. Former US military pilot arrested over China fears. Yeah, okay. This is Russia Today. And there you are. So now, you can go and read this stuff. Let's try Sputnik News. See what's on that. Reload that Sputnik News page. Well, as you can see, there's a slight delay while it caches the thing in. It is coming through a free VPN. You can pay $2.99 a month if you want to get it faster. But hey, this is okay. Construction of multipolar world cannot be stopped, Iranian president says. There you go. Hey, that's loading okay. Yeah, picture takes a little longer to come up. But hey, there you are. So you remember how that was done? We went to Firefox, and then we went into add-ons and extensions, add-ons and themes, I should say, and then we went to the search bar at the top and we typed in Browsec. Now you can also get that Browsec thing on your phone by going into your app store and downloading Browsec, and that's another way. So on phone or on Firefox, there's great ways to get around the censors and check out the news for yourself. And that's going to be particularly handy to those of you living in the United Kingdom, now that you are living in a New World Order occupied zone. I wonder why is it I'm not hearing all these stories about people now fleeing the United Kingdom for Russia, say, and flights being booked. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Anyway, I'll be back with more soon. Thanks for joining me for this edition of The Beautiful Truth. And we'll be covering some non-UK issues because there's a lot of other stuff going on around the world, and got to get to some of that as well too. So news roundup and stuff coming up, and look forward to your company then. But in the meantime, for breakfornews.com and informedconsent.ie, this has been Fintan Dunn reporting. See you soon.